Today we're going to talk about the top 5 ways leftists sexualize kids.
Are you ready for this one? I'm ready. I wonder if one of these 5 points is going to be like some actually kind of like weird shit that I have to research more on. Probably not, but I'm always a little scared that one day I'll hear a convincing argument from a right-leaning person.
Yeah.
Question of the day: why do you think the left is pushing sex on kids at such young ages?
Why would you push the... Wait, you don't ask the question before you make the point. What the fuck are you talking about? Pushing sex on kids? What?
Have you spent any time considering their motives and the implications of their actions? Please comment. We want to know, because we don't really know, and we want to stop these people.
This thing.
Jesus Christ. Today we're going to be discussing the top 5 ways leftists sexualize kids. Before we begin this video on how they sexualize kids, isn't it weird how they sexualize kids? Let us know in the comments how you feel about that. We have to stop them.
In many areas of our culture and society, the left cannot wait to sexualize children. For being so offended by everything, they're hungry to do one of the worst possible things you can do. Seems every day there's another story about the left pushing sex on our kids.
Please give me one. Just give me one such example. We're speeding this up a bit. Play Earts. Thank you very much for the resub, my friend. Welcome to the 2-month Subber Clubber. And also the Vosh Pit again. Okay. Speed. Yeah, also reading lines. Jesus Christ. If you're going to read lines on your fucking syndicated podcast shit, couldn't you at least get the teleprompter near the camera so you're not obviously looking down at your notes in your fucking iPad?
We're going to limit this to just 5. There's an insane amount of examples, but we got to keep it to 5. Otherwise, I will become enraged and blow my brains out.
Yeah. Well, there's a gun on your
Monkus.
desk, and so let's not do that, right?
No.
Please. Do it, you fucking bitch. Do it in this video.
Oh, yeah, that's why we're going to keep it at 5.
Yeah, 5. 5 is the
Not
limit.
loaded.
Yeah, we tried 6 earlier in a run through, and it got carry. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, if there was a 7 plus 1, I was out. All right.
Definitely not in for that.
This is disturbing. I'm just going to be...
Ha ha ha, suicide, ha ha ha. Lacko Sabo. Oh, this shit fucking triggers me. You! Lacko Sabo, do you think that I'm mocking or making light of suicide, or do you think I'm saying that the person I'm referring to is so bad that they should probably be removed from society? Do you really think that this stems from a mockery of suicide and not from its specific hatred of this person? Fucking Hitler committed suicide. If people are like, well, Hitler did kill himself, are you like making fun of suicide? Not very cool, guys. CGR182, thank you so fucking much for your resub, friend. Talk a lot about social problems in your stream, but you haven't talked about those problems. Why is that my pee so hard? You gotta rub it. You gotta rub the lotion on. I was mocking them, not you. I think they are mocking suicide. Okay, I don't know. Chill the fuck out. Shut the fuck up, you guys. All right, come on. Let's do this fucking video.
Straight up, and this is real. This is really happening, so I'm glad that we get to just know this is real.
2 minutes, 5 seconds in, and we've yet to discuss anything empirical. Come on.
Watching sex ed that teaches homosexuality in grade 3.
What?
Okay. Hey, at what grade do we start making comments about boys and girls liking each other? Because I remember being in kindergarten, and I'd be like playing with a girl or whatever, and people would be like, oh, you too, gonna get married? Wait, am I lagging? God damn it, refresh the stream, you fucking assholes. What's my bitrate at? My bitrate is fine, I'm past 3K. Listen, kids are introduced to heterosexuality really fucking early. When people are like, oh, you two love each other. Is this your girlfriend? Is this your boyfriend? We do this shit in kindergarten. We do this shit in pre-K, okay? We do this shit really early on. Introduces homosexuality at grade 3. You know what this literally means? This is literally like, hey, in grade 3, they're like, hey, some people, by the way, like some boys like boys and some girls like girls. Oh, no! How is this sexualizing children? this is a valuable part of teaching kids what people are and what people are like. Masturbation in grade 6. I know plenty of people who are masturbating way the fuck before grade 6. Oral and anal sex at grade 7. Listen, if you think your boy Vosh Vidya wasn't pounding fucking middle school ass back in grade 7, you've got another thing coming. I was in that shit. I was on that shit, okay? Oral and anal sex, yeah, teach them as early as you can. Teaches there are 6 genders rather than 2 biological sexes. That's not true. Listen, wait, we can take a look at this. Teachers' union fights to force radical sex ed. I would love to see a source in the 6 genders rather than 2 biological sexes thing. Teachers' union fights to force radical sex ed in Ontario families. Teacher union fights to force radical sex ed on. Let's take a look at this source, huh? On Ontario families. Life Site News. What kind of content we got in here? SPLC crisis, Planned Parenthood, sex abuse, fuck off. Last week. Okay, I don't see any hyper obvious right-wing clickbaiting right here in the beginning. So let's take a look. Oh no, do we got a chud? Can't I ever focus on something in chat? Did someone on their merit, not their race or name or gender, do actual freaking arguments? The Dark Slayer 2002, my big brain friend. You are what I have been looking for all day. All day I've been looking for you. You, my friend, my lover, my destined partner. Get the fuck out of this chat and get into my Discord and join the stream, or not the stream, the I Want to Debate Vosh voice channel. Get in there. Get in there, and if you don't, you're getting banned. I have no respect for your cowardice. Get your mic set up, fucking adjust your pants, tuck the erection down underneath the shirt line, get the fuck in that voice channel. I want to hear it out. Where the fuck you at? Yeah, Daddy Leon Trotsky, because you're not getting in, you fuck. Nice try. Come on. Dark Slayer 2002. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it! We got ourselves another baby. Another sad little baby. Too weak to actually discuss the ideas that they want to throw around. Oh, shit. Little Shapiroka. Huh. Huh. You gonna cry? You gonna piss your pants a little? The Dark Slayer 2002? You gonna shit and come? Get this little bit. No, I'm banning him. Get this little bitch baby out of my sight. I didn't even read the fucking message. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Oh, fucking baby. Get him out. What did he say? I don't know. All I had to do was read the first sentence. Get him out of here. Yeah, pro-family, da-da-da. Canadian pro-life, so anti-abortion, and pro-family, aka I hate gay people, group Campaign Life Coalition slammed Ontario's Elementary Sex Teachers Union as elitist over its court action to keep in place a radical sex ed curriculum. What is this shit about 6 genders? 6 genders? Fact-checking, 10 claims. No. He's in the Discord? Is it Dark Slayer? Oh, shit. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Hello, comrade. Are you now ready to talk about the eternal side of Marxism-Leninism?
I'm banning you. I hate you people. So anyway, look at the nonsense shit people are saying about Ontario's sex ed curriculum. Listen, claim 1. In grade 1, they will learn to reveal their private parts. They will see posters and flashcards of private parts. They will learn to touch the private area and identify it on themselves and others. Do chuds really actually fucking think this is a thing? Yeah, you guys laugh now, but if you keep doing this shit, I'm unironically gonna stop trying to bring people in to debate. Anal Play 101 class in grade 8 would actually provide instruction on anal sex play? Jesus Christ. Fucking chuds make the craziest claims. Okay, where's the 6 genders? 6 genders. Consider gender confusion starting grade 1 with propaganda. There are 6 genders, 52 sexual orientations. Veracity. The curriculum does list 6 kinds of gender identity. Male, female, two-spirited, transgender, transsexual, and intersex. Okay? That's not the same as there being 6 genders. Transgender isn't a gender. Transsexual isn't a thing anymore. Intersex is a medical sexual characteristic. It has nothing to do with gender. Two-spirit is isn't that some fucking Native American shit? I don't know. And then you've got man and woman. This curriculum seems like it's kind of stupid, but it's not saying there are 6 genders. All right. We verified the information that I was looking to verify. So already this point has been blown to fucking smithereens because everything they're saying here is either out of context, incredibly stupid, or factually incorrect. Let's keep it going.
3, grade 3. Masturbation in grade 6.
Oh my gosh.
That's in public school. Oral and anal sex in grade 7.
Gotta be kidding me.
No,
Listen to the fucking fake outrage from these chuds. Jesus Christ. A teacher being like, all right, class, it's time for us to learn about no giggling. And then they bring up like the flashcard and they're like, all right, so you guys have heard about anal sex, right? And then everyone in the class stifles their laugh and the teacher rolls their eyes and they're like, okay, as you probably have heard or seen, sometimes people choose to have penetrative sex through the anus rather than through the vagina. This is called anal sex. If you do this, please wear a condom. Sometimes anal sex can lead to microphone. And the whole class already knows this, and they're all just going like, Jesus Christ. And these dipshits over here are pretending this is a moral abomination. They're just teaching this kid shit that they probably already know about. I already knew about masturbation in grade 6. Are you fucking kidding me? Of course I knew. My dick was already 7 inches long soft by then. I wanted to know why pee-pee get hard when it slap against my thighs during gym class. I wanted to know.
this is real. As well as teaching there are 6 genders rather than 2.
That's factually incorrect. We've already determined that the source that they pulled out from this was from an incredibly biased news site that was listing claims made against the Ontario sex ed curriculum made by a right-leaning organization with no claims whatsoever towards factuality. So,
Biological sexes. These teachers are the authority figures
Yeah.
that your children are with all day, every day.
Yeah.
They look to these people for guidance. Yeah, and the state mandates that we pay them to confuse and traumatize our children.
use and traumatize our children. Whew. These snowflakes, man. They just can't fucking handle it. They can't handle a very... Oh, man. Like, listen, I can pretend to get worked up about this, but in reality, like, we all know they're being disingenuous cunts here, right? If they're even remotely intelligent, like, if they understand that you breathe out, then breathe in, like you don't breathe out, then breathe out, if they can follow the 1-2 pattern, then they understand that nobody is getting fucking traumatized from this. I think, like, when they imagine... Thank you very much, Sargon X Lower and Southern 1489. Thank you. when they read this like in a news article and they're like, these kids will be taught about masturbation at grade 3, what they think, and I think they're doing this because of projection, what they think is like little Timmy's in the class, and the professor's like, now we're going to teach you all about masturbation, and the teacher flops down their pants and pulls out their fucking donger and starts whipping it out in front of the kids, and this feels really good, kids, try it yourself. Like, this is what they think, and they think this because, and I want this to be clipped, all conservatives want to fuck children. Every single one of them. Reactionaries want to fuck kids. Fascists want to fuck kids. Regular old conservatives want to fuck kids. Your grandma and grandpa probably want to fuck kids. The chuds in chat right now, they want to fuck kids. Libertarians definitely want to fuck kids. Centrists, they want to fuck kids. All of them wake up and fall asleep every night fucking dribbling with pre-cum at the thought of laying into children. You know why? Because they're disgusting. And they are now projecting those feelings onto everyone. That's pretty fair. True. It is fair. It's objectively correct. Sorry, libtards. I deal in facts and logic here. If you don't like it, you can take your crybaby butthurt feelings over to another channel.
Insane.
But this may be the most bizarre taxpayer-funded sex education show ever. The peculiar and confusing act that just play the clip. Just watch.
Thank you, Squishy Sharky. Thank you very much for the Twitch Prime subscription, my friend. I really fucking appreciate that. Thanks.
Watch it for yourself.
Whoa! Hold on. Whoa, that just hit me pretty fast. Okay. Whew. Performance art pieces, man. Okay. All right, let's get a second.
Just play the clip. Just watch it for yourself.
Oh my gosh. Ah!
Should this be blurred?
Oh my gosh. Is that a... Oh!
Those are kids. There's...
Okay. I might be a reactionary now. I need to know the context. Is this a school thing? There were a lot of kids there. I'm going to assume it was a school thing. Okay. I'm going to step forward and say that was a little bit weird. I'm going to take a guess and say that this was meant to be a performative replacement to the shock value approach to teaching about birth and like child rearing because what we used to do is, like, you guys remember this, right? They would, like, put on a VHS tape of a woman giving birth, and it was really gross, because let's be real, birth is fucking disgusting. And all the kids would, like, vomit in the corner. They'd all, like, watch in the shitty fucking, like the tiny 18-inch fucking tube monitor, you know? You know what I'm talking about? They would put that up like, today we learn about the miracle of birth. And then they put it up and it shows and it's like really gross. I feel like this is a performative art piece meant to replace that. We've got the birth. It's fucking weird and gross as regular human birth is. Except this is like a performative piece that children can think is funny and scream and jump around on. So, like, while I will say I find that extremely weird, there's no evidence being posited here that this is leftist, for one, and for two, it seems to me that this is taking the place of something that already existed and already was pretty fucking weird. Because we would show videos to, like, kids of a fucking gaped pussy splitting open, blood and shit flying at the screen as the live fucking baby is pulled out. Like, that's already kind of weird for kids. This is kind of weird for kids. This isn't sexualizing children, though. This isn't in any way sexualizing kids. The video title is about sexualizing children. So far, nothing that has happened has anything to do with the sexualization of children. So, left wing destroyed. Oh, we've got a Daily Mail link. Let's take a look. Let's see. Puppet dies from falling brick and gives birth. Huge baby feeds from breast, which detaches itself and squirts milk at kids. Huge heart starts dancing around. Parents across the world have mixed reaction. Okay. Okay. None of this has anything to do with sexualizing children. This looks like a live art piece that's just about how gross and amazing the human body is. I mean, yeah. This isn't sexualizing kids. It's really weird. Obviously. But yeah, this isn't like a sex curriculum thing. This is just a fucking weird art piece thing. Okay, so that's that. Let's keep moving, because that was pretty gross.
Kids around there.
Oh my gosh.
It's like Jim Henson meets Rosemary's Baby.
I don't know if that was a great...
was made a lot more sense when it was revealed that the puppet did have information that would lead to the arrest of one Hillary Rodham Clinton. And something else weird happened. A Planned Parenthood puppet then just appeared quickly and beat the baby with a brick.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
you gotta have
That's what they
equal
do.
treatment there.
They put on this night.
Nice little slip in there for those of you who don't know. Planned Parenthood does not actually beat babies to death with bricks after they're born.
Nightmare-inspiring exhibit. The name of this is Snuff Puppets. A snuff film is when you kill someone on camera. A snuff puppet is when you kill a child's innocence.
Apparently so.
Again, this is all like cool fake outrage. This has nothing to do with sexualizing children.
They call it Snuff Puppets.
Oh my gosh, these guys suck.
The lesson also included the now dead mother spraying the children with simulated breast milk. I didn't realize
saw.
when they say Australia is down under, they mean it's literally in hell.
Oh, this is Australian? That's Australia isn't even on Earth. Why do we give a fuck about this?
All right, number 4, accepting pedophile celebrities.
Oh, accepting pedophile celebrities. Hey, you know who's been okay, for one, Hollywood is not leftist. It is liberal. Left-leaning liberal, progressive on a good day. For two, you know who's been super fucking outspoken about pedophile and other sexually abusive celebrities being accepted in Hollywood and in other media institutions? Proponents of the Me Too movement, which is largely propped up by leftists and largely shit on by right-leaning people.
How long is your pape?
Pepe? You mean my penis? Unfathomably. So again, if he's about to go on a thing about how like, ooh, celebrities that fuck kids are being permitted, for one, ignoring the fucking, come on, who's the fucking business guy who's got the plane and there's like a whole bunch of allegations that he brings people onto the plane to fuck kids? You know, the people who, like a ton of right-leaning politicians and business people and celebrities have been on that plane. Give me Epstein. Yeah, the Epstein thing. So for one, I would hardly describe that as a left-leaning phenomena. For two, the Me Too movement, which is heavily supported by left-leaning people, such as myself, has been instrumental in outing some of these criminals in the public space. People like this guy right here are opposed to the movement, which is trying to take down the problem he is about to fallaciously describe. Let's go for it.
Yeah.
Remember fucking Trump throwing his weight behind, I've even forgotten his name because he's so fucking irrelevant. The guy who did the thing, the Alabama dude, come on. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Roy Moore. Yeah. Roy Moore. Fucking Trump throwing his weight behind Roy Moore, fucking 14-year-old Andy. Hey, remember how Trump walked into the changing room unannounced of one of his underage beauty pageants? Remember how the president of the United States of America just walked in on a bunch of naked girls changing, completely deliberately with full knowledge that it was a changing room, knowing that the door was closed because they were changing? Remember when the president of the United States of America did that? And that's only what we know about, dude. I would actually be fucking shocked if Trump hasn't busted a few thousand nuts up inside underage kids. I'm putting it out there, okay? I know he'll never get fined for it and it'll never be found out. I'm not waiting on Mueller to back me up on that one. But I fucking guarantee it. But again, let's continue. Didn't Tucker Carlson defend a child rapist? Yes. Did Milo Yiannopoulos publicly advocate for pedophilia? Yes.
When it comes to celebrities, leftists have a long history of
Leftists, huh?
ignoring pedophilia.
Yeah.
Here is a room full of lefties cheering convicted child rapist Roman Polanski, followed by Whoopi Goldberg defending him.
A room full of leftists, he says, at the fucking Academy Awards.
Did you know Mozart wrote a song about licking ass? He is a cultural Marxist.
Thank you, PragerU, for your wonderful insight. Imagine the leftists backing up Roman Polanski and going and showing a bunch of rich white people at the Oscars. Jesus Christ. Of course Polanski is trash, but that's not what's being argued here. I'm not here to defend Polanski. I'm here to argue that this isn't an example of leftists propping up pedophiles.
Goes for Roman Polanski. For the pianist.
Look at this. Look at this fucking leftist. Look at all these leftists. Look at their pale smiles. Oh, just imagine all the money in this room. How leftist. Yes. Oh my god, it's fucking Ghost Rider.
Charged. I know it wasn't rape. There is a
child molest, maybe? I'm not sure
it was something. It was something else, but I don't believe it was rape.
Yes, Whoopi Goldberg, the accredited hero of leftist theory.
Polanski raped a passed out and drugged 13-year-old girl at a party at Jack Nicholson's house. That shaded devil guy.
Yeah. Who was whistling at this, by the way?
In the video.
But who's to judge, right? I mean, that must fall into the gray area of consent. But God forbid Judge Kavanaugh admit to consuming a beer and having.
Literally no leftist has ever defended Roman Polanski. I've talked with so many leftists, none of them in history, no one does. This has nothing to do with leftism. This also has nothing to do with sexualizing children. If anything, this is an argument against capital, how wealth, when hoarded amidst the few, affords them the social privileges necessary to get away with doing shit like that. Thank you for making my argument for me, Mr. kind of fat-faced Crowder.
A yearbook.
Right.
Now that's rape. I mean, that woman did lie about something from 40 years ago, but that little 13-year-old girl that was sodomized, and by the way, I take no joy in talking about this, but people have to
take no joy in talking about this, he says, literally smiling between every sentence, because he knows he's being a disingenuous little fucking cunt. He knows perfectly well that the one, here's an example of leftists propping up fucking pedophiles in their midst, goes on to show like a 20-year-old clip of the Academy Awards. What? He knows he's being a disingenuous little cunt. He knows he doesn't have an argument here. Again, and I always say this, never believe, even for a fucking moment, that these reactionaries, conservatives, whatever the fuck, that they're being genuine.
How is the commune today? Here at 1/10 of a protein bar.
Oh, I shoplift all my protein bars, but thank you. I appreciate the 100 bits. Never believe that they believe they're making sincere points. They know they're lying. Reactionaries know they're lying. Fascists know they're lying. Anti-intellectualism and intellectual dishonesty are core tenets of their philosophy.
Literally see this so they can't look away and they can't agree to this.
Right.
And there are plenty of other celebrities who have allegedly groomed and molested children. We call these people an open secret.
Yeah, please list one of them who is a leftist or who is backed by leftists. Please.
Michael Jackson, Asia Argento, Kevin
Okay. I'm not hearing any leftists so far.
Spacey, Woody Allen, half the set of Nickelodeon shows.
I'm not hearing it.
Several of which are rehired after they're convicted of child rape, kind of like Brian Peck.
Serious?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, convicted of child rape and then rehired by Nickelodeon.
No way.
I'm not hearing it. I'm not hearing anything to do with leftism. You're just like making the example that people with money can do fucked up things.
Oh, yeah. And, of course, the director of X-Men is a widely acknowledged sexual predator of children who, for a living, is an authority position around children.
Yeah.
That is
Nothing to do with leftism. I'd be willing to bet, by the way, that if we looked into the political views of most of these people, we would find they're pretty right-leaning.
being said, hit the notification bell.
No true Scotsman fallacy. Stormblessed, your brain is too small. And I can't handle being around you. I'm not no true Scotsman fallacying any of these people, you fucking dipshit cunt. You brainlet fucking degenerate. Nothing here that is being said has anything to do with leftism. You fucking moron. You buffoon. You subhuman. He's just listing people. This has nothing to do with leftism. They aren't even liberals most of the time.
I have to remind you to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Thank you for that.
If you're enjoying the stream, make sure to hit that follow button so you can get updates when I go live in the future.
Just subscribing means nothing these days. Apparently, we have to ring a bell for some reason. Hit like, comment, share this to your friends. We aren't super liked by
Do all of that for me.
the algorithm monster. so that little...
Not super liked by the algorithm monster, he says, with 3.6 million subscribers, with almost all of his videos at or approaching 1 million views. Jesus Christ. These fucking whiny babies, dude. Can you imagine having a skin this thin?
Extra help spreading the word that comedy hasn't been completely eaten by Amy Schumer.
Not that she hasn't tried.
She's tried.
She's tried.
She's tried hard.
Lots of
Give me
times.
punchlines.
Very contemporary joke about Amy Schumer, by the way. Not a boomer podcast, by the way.
All right, let's keep
I'll
going
make
on.
them unfunny.
Let's keep going on this horrifying adventure.
I know, right?
Number 3, normalizing pedophilia as an orientation.
Please, please, God. Give me a leftist. Give me a leftist.
This is one of my... all right, let me just keep hammering here. Another thing leftists have pushed is the idea that pedophilia is just another sexual orientation,
Citation needed.
like being gay or straight.
Oh my gosh.
Stop discrimination.
Citation needed.
It's time to be more tolerant of demons who feed on kids.
Yeah.
I do take issue with the moral outrage here. Listen, obviously child sexual abuse is a huge problem. It's widely underreported and affects way more people than... What? My baby! I just got made a sandwich. Any chuds in chat? Look at that. Leftism is how you reinforce gender roles. Get fucked, bitches. I love you.
I'm going soon. So.
Fuck yeah. Thank you.
Love you. I'm going soon.
I love you.
I love you too.
So what the fuck was I saying? I completely lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, listen. Child sexual abuse is widely underreported. It's a huge problem. It's incredibly damaging to the psyche of young people, and as they grow older, it can lead to many negative mental health consequences. However, stigmatizing pedophilia to the extent that we are calling them demons probably discourages pedophiles, people who feel attraction towards children, from getting the help they could need to keep themselves from abusing children. By demonizing them to this extent, you are increasing the likelihood of child sexual abuse. Do not demonize pedophiles. Demonize child sexual abuse and encourage pedophiles to get help. Now, if you've got pedophiles who have never sexually abused a child, but they're advocating for it, they're like, yeah, I've never done it, but is there anything really that wrong with lowering the age of consent to 13? Then of course, fuck them. Like, fucking shut them up. Just fucking smack them. But by and large, statistically speaking, there are 370 people watching right now. I'd be willing to bet that at least 20 or 30 of them experience habitual sexual attraction towards children. It's surprisingly common. To those of you who do to an extent that you feel as though it may be like a problem, please, just get some fucking help, my dude. There's nothing wrong with you as a person. We can't help the shit that we're into. We can help our actions. So, please. There's nothing feels weird, man, about this. You can't help the things that you're into. If you realize as you're like 20 years old that you have a thing for kids, what the fuck do you do? Commit fucking Sudoku? Do you just stop existing right then and there? Do you toss yourself in front of a car? No. You have to live your life anyway. And you have to recognize, if you're a responsible person, like, hey, even if I just keep this to myself, like, this might affect people someday, you know? I should probably maybe see what I can do about that. Talk to somebody. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Blade Zoomer in Discord thinks Crowder is not a reactionary. Please read. God damn it, you people. Can't I finish one video? What's their name? Blade Zoomer. All right. Jesus Christ. I'm just going to pull him right onto stream, just with no warning. Hello, you're now on stream. 400 people are listening to you talk,
there you
okay?
Go. Like, tell me how Steven Crowder is a reactionary based on any of his views from that.
Okay. Do you know what a reactionary is?
Dude, I just explained what it is.
Yeah, not to stream, not to me. Do you know what a reactionary is?
Wait. Were you just listening? I explained it over the last minute.
No, you were with a group of people in my Discord. Now you're on stream.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, reactionary is the mirror of a radical for the left. Yeah.
No.
It's an extreme right.
No. That is not what
Correct.
it means. Oh,
well, tell me what it means.
Okay. Hold on. Just enjoying a sandwich. You know how it is. Here, I'll set it aside while we talk.
Because you agree that there's a difference between liberal and radical, right?
Liberal and radical what?
As a political attitude, liberal versus a radical.
Radical what? You can be a radical and a liberal. It depends on what you're radical about. I'm a radical leftist, for example, and I'm not a liberal. You are a... How do you identify politically? Hello?
Oh, I just chudded them. Did that kick him out?
Yes, you did.
Oh, sorry.
God damn it.
I didn't think it would kick him out.
Yeah, it does. They don't have permission to get in here. Can you undo it?
Where are they?
Why would you chud them in the middle of a conversation with me?
So I would remember?
Oh. They didn't flee. One of my fucking mods. Hold on. No, it was Hyena.
There. Chud roll gone.
Okay. There we go. You're back on stream.
Radical and reactionary.
Now, please, let's get back to where we were. Can you explain to me what is your political leaning?
I'm a nationalist.
That's
right wing.
Okay, cool, great. So degenerate. You asked me
How is that degenerate?
I think nationalism is toxic to the mind. In so many fucking ways. I can't even begin. Actually, I could describe it to you. How nationalism is toxic to the mind. For one, are you proud of being an Are you an American?
Yeah.
Why are you proud of being an American? I assume you are if you're a nationalist.
Yeah, I'm proud of the system we've built. I'm proud of the revolutionary spirit of our founding.
Okay.
And I'm proud of the political sophistication that the founders came up with, yeah.
Okay, I think that's all perfectly well and good. Do you think there's anything wrong with improving the system for posterity?
No, and I don't think they have anything wrong with that either.
Okay. So, do you think America is by nature of its existence better than other nations?
Can you give me an example?
In what way do you consider yourself a nationalist?
Well, I think that the interests of my people, that's what I consider when
what
I'm
is my
talking
people?
about politics.
White people? Are you white?
Americans. I am white.
Okay. So
And
why are
we can get into
Americans
that, but-
your people?
Why are Americans my people? Because it's my nation. It's part of my identity.
Okay, it's part of an invisible line in the sand that were drawn by people hundreds of years ago. You have more in common with, say, I would
Well, it's
say...
not invisible.
Well, no, not at some points in the border. Sometimes we got walls drawn there, but by and large, borders are arbitrary. You have more in common with a conservative in Europe than you do with me, a radical leftist here in America. Why draw the distinction at Americanism? Why draw it at borders?
Well, I mean, if you're a radical leftist, I'm not saying you have more in common with me. Well, I'm not saying that like our differences are solvable. Like there's probably things that we fundamentally disagree on, and there's no chance that we can agree on it. So, I mean,
Probably.
yeah.
So again, then why is nationality the dividing line here? Why are Americans your people rather than white people or men or people with right-leaning views or other nationalists?
Well, I think nationalists, perhaps. I mean, I respect the abstract idea of standing up for your nation, but I do care about you as a fellow American. That's true also. But
Okay.
it depends. Like, do you think that America is an illegitimate country?
I mean, I think all states are illegitimate. I'm an anarchist.
Jeez.
Yeah, we're going pretty far left here. So wait, if I engaged in a proletarian revolution, seized the means of production, destroyed the American government, and reconstituted America as a socialist state, we would still be Americans. Would that? You're fine with all that? I mean, we keep the flag, we keep the label. Are you okay with that?
You overthrow the government? Did you say?
Yeah, I mean, you said you celebrated the revolutionary spirit with which Americans founded their nation. I celebrate that.
In the context of British, oppression, yeah, but not in the way you're talking about it.
So British oppression is bad, but American oppression is fine?
Well, can you talk to me about what you think the oppression is going on now?
Well, obviously, a dictatorship of capital. The business owners, the politicians they keep in their pockets, the systems they built around them, the laws they wrote to benefit them, all of it fundamentally oppresses us on a structural level. We should, collectively, recognize our interests as workers and rise up against our oppressors, much in the same way the American colonists did against their gubernatorial oppressors.
Well, I don't actually have a problem with some of the descriptive claims you made. Like, I'm not a capitalist. I don't believe in the free market as an end in itself. I think that the market should just serve the people.
Are you a fascist?
That's what I believe. No.
Okay.
I don't believe in violence for achieving political goals.
Okay. Let's get back to the original purpose here. You asked me how Steven Crowder is reactionary. Do I need to list you all of the times and ways in which he has said reactionary shit? Or do you think he's like...
I don't want a bullet point list. I want just a paragraph of why you think he's a reactionary.
Okay.
Based on our agreed definition.
I never agreed to your definition. He habitually engages in advocacy...
Wait, hold on. Before you go on, can we agree on a definition first?
Can we just, okay, how about reactionary? Just to use a simplified definition, anti-progressive. Somebody who is against integration, against egalitarianism, against equality, against...
Well, no, I don't accept that because you're just using that. I mean, I said it's the inverse, but you can't divide it based on negative qualities.
Well, I can. Reactionary is a distinctly negative characteristic.
Well, in the same way, radicalism is also a negative.
I would strongly disagree.
It's rejecting the current social and political order.
Yeah, but reactionaries don't reject the current social and political order. In fact, very often reactionaries operate within... No, they're not. Trump supporters absolutely operate within the current social and political order, and they're huge reactionaries.
No, you're talking about conservatives. There's a difference.
Okay, so you don't think Trump supporters...
Just tell me why you think...
Do you not think Trump supporters, by and large, are reactionaries? The same people who scream about there being only two genders, men and women have their place, black people aren't oppressed.
I can't make a judgment about 60 million people. That's too vague. Okay. I need an example.
Who do you think of? Who do you think of when you think of a reactionary?
Reactionary. Richard Spencer.
Okay, Richard Spencer is a white nationalist and a fascist. That's a pretty hard line to draw. I mean, I would agree that he is a reactionary to an extent. You don't think there's anyone maybe a little bit more relatable to you that might have some reactionary views?
Some reactionary views? Yeah, I can name some people. But
like?
yeah. Nicholas Fuentes.
Okay, another white nationalist fascist who believes that non-whites should be deported from the
He's
country.
not a white nationalist.
Yes,
and he's not a fascist either.
No, he is a white nationalist. He literally talked about establishing a white ethno-state in this country. He uses soul math to determine that he's a 91.
No, he didn't. He
Really?
didn't talk about a white ethno-state.
Really?
Yeah, he didn't. You know what the difference between a nationalist and a white nationalist is? A nationalist, in the case of Nicholas Fuentes, I can explain what the
Please
difference
feel
is.
free.
between
I'm
him and
always
Spencer.
ready to learn. He literally did
All right,
advocate
so-
for a white ethno-state, just so you know.
Well, you can tell me where you got that from after, but the difference is someone like Richard Spencer, he thinks that America should be an all-white country, and how do you achieve that in a country that's not all white? Well, violence and deporting people and all these other things. Nicholas Fuentes wants to preserve the white majority, which still exists. He doesn't want to eliminate or hurt minorities, and that's the difference there.
Okay,
So
so
it's non-violent.
it doesn't matter. Wait, violence doesn't determine whether or not you're a white nationalist. He wants America to remain a white majority nation. He wants to preserve
That's
the white
correct,
demographic.
but I think that the term white nationalist is used as it's used as a weapon
It's
by
writ-
people like you. Like, listen to your
Okay.
connotation, the way you're saying.
Yeah, it's a bad thing. I don't
Well,
care
that's
if I
not
don't care.
self-evidently
Listen, I'm sorry
true.
if it hurts your feelings. Yeah, I think that preserving a white majority in this country by editing immigration laws and making people of color fucking leave either through genocide or deportation. I think that this
That's
is
not true.
You don't think
Can't
that's a bad
conflate
thing?
Genocide. You know the difference. The violent line is very important. He's not for violence
It's really
of any
not.
kind.
Listen,
Well, that's your view as a radical.
Yeah, yes, I am a radical. He is also a radical. We both have radical opinions.
He's a reactionary.
You
in
can
some
be a
sense, but he's not for
reactionary and a
violence.
radical. Oh my fucking god! I can't debate political terminology with somebody who has no fucking idea what. They're
Okay,
talking
okay,
about.
sorry. Let's get off the semantics.
This isn't semantics. This is foundational. Nick Fuentes is a white nationalist, and the
And
idea,
you define
the
white
idea,
nationalist as someone who wants to preserve a white majority.
is somebody who wants to preserve a white America. This is something he wants.
Okay, you listen. On that definition, sure.
Are you a white nationalist? Do you have a problem with brown people coming in, raping your women, fucking making brown babies? You got a problem with that?
The second half of what you said, I'm not gonna even respond to.
No, I
The
want a
first
response
half,
to it. Do
By
you-
your definition, sure.
Do you have? Oh. Okay, so you want to preserve a white America?
Yep.
Okay, can you explain to me why?
Well,
We're beyond reactionary. We're beyond reactionary now, my friend. You have leapt the gap. We're at fascists now. Well, please.
I don't think. Hold on. I don't think wanting to, preserve something that already exists is necessarily fascistic.
What if you want to preserve the slave state? What if you were back in the 1860s? You wanted to preserve slavery. Would you argue then that wanting to preserve a pre-existing institution isn't necessarily bad? You realize
again?
that fascism is literally about preserving a national identity, right?
No. I mean, well, it depends how it manifests. I mean, fascism is inherently about what they call the natural order, superior and inferior peoples.
Did you just say it
So-
is or is not?
Is or is not what?
It is or is not about the things you just listed to me.
I don't think it has to be. No.
Then what is it about to you? So you're not a fascist. Fascism isn't about violence. Preserving things isn't fascism, but fascism isn't necessarily about the things you said. Please, what is fascism to you?
Fascism, I already said, it's about the natural order, quote
What
unquote.
natural order?
It's about inferior and superior races and
Right.
subjugating people.
Okay.
That's what it's about.
Okay, yeah, I agree. Do you agree with that?
Do I support that? No.
Okay, but
Subjugating
you want
people? No.
you want a white
And
America.
I don't use terms like superior and inferior either.
I don't care if you use those terms. I care what's locked up in your gray matter, my friend. Why do you support
So
a
you're
white
asking
America?
me if my words are coded for superior and inferior, right? That's what you want to know?
Broadly
That's what
speaking.
you think.
Yes.
Okay,
White
'cause that's
white
not what I
nationalists,
believe. I think races
reactionaries,
are different.
conservatives have a tendency to lie. So
Well, thank you. Thank you for saying that.
No
to me.
problem. See, that's the difference fundamentally between you and me. I lay it out all on the table. I'm never dishonest about my views. No one could ever accuse me of lying. You are a white nationalist. You could have led with that. We could have had a
Well,
more interesting discussion right off the bat.
I mean, you're the one being disingenuous. You made me agree to that term, even though it has a lot. It's just used as basically a word to shut people up.
I'm sorry it
instead of
hurts your
talking about the
feelings.
issue.
You're right. Let's talk about non-politically loaded terms. Can you explain to me why you want to preserve a white majority in America?
Well, I think that the liberal values, which you probably don't agree with, but which a lot of Americans agree with, are going to go away if we don't have a white majority, a white hegemony.
You realize that white people
I want to
are
see those preserved.
You realize white people are the ones who have been voting predominantly Republican for the past 60 years, right? Whatever liberal values you're referring to are more threatened by people like Trump supporters, Trump and other reactionaries than they are by the immigrants.
I'm using liberal, like classically liberal.
No, I'm aware of that. Trump is a proto-fascist and his supporters are proto-fascists. He is anti-free speech. He is anti-liberalism.
You think he's anti-free speech?
Yeah, he threatened to open up libel laws. He said that people who burn the flag should have their citizenship revoked. He said that he said that Kaepernick should be fired by the NFL for protesting. All of these are clear, implicit.
Pretty bad.
Yeah, they're all violations of free speech. Unprecedented, by the way, in modern political history. There is no other president who has dared evoke such a flagrantly anti-constitutional, anti-free speech position before. Trump, however,
I disagree on that. I'm not for that. I think that's stupid.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad we agree on something. So, what liberal values are you interested in preserving that the brown people are going to ruin?
Man. Well, the Second Amendment for one. I mean, and the First Amendment too. If you look at
we just talked about how white people right now, reactionaries, are the ones who pose the biggest threat to the First Amendment.
Well, that's kind of a stretch. You talked about Trump being an idiot. I mean,
I do believe that.
He's not very sophisticated.
I also believe that.
If you want me to answer your question, like how are liberal values going to go away if we lose a white majority? There are studies and opinion polls that show that a majority of minorities, or at least a plurality, are for things like hate speech being added to the First Amendment, and are not as stridently supportive of the Second Amendment gun rights as white people are.
Well, hold on. The addition of hate speech clauses to our First Amendment has been a robustly discussed constitutional argument for the past century. Well before the fucking tide of brown people came in and started diluting our demographic proportions.
Wait, when was hate speech talked about in the last century?
Look it up. Look at the precedent. Hate speech as a clause to our First Amendment has been discussed broadly since 1940. We have never added a clause about hate speech to our free speech laws, but it is something that has been discussed up to the Supreme Court.
That's unfortunate, but it doesn't negate my point, which is that opinion polls show that minorities are more in favor of hate speech.
So you think, in favor of hate speech laws. Your people are in favor of hate speech. They're in favor of the laws against it. I don't believe.
What do you mean by hate speech? Just anything you don't like?
No, I mean that speech which specifically decries the validity of and right to exist of, say, gender, racial minorities, people of color, trans people, the whole fucking smorgasbord.
Well, what have I said has negated anyone's right to exist or quote-unquote validity?
You are literally talking about preventing non-white people from entering this country because of their political views.
No one has a right to enter this country, not even Europeans.
And you don't have a right to determine who gets to enter this country.
Well, as a citizen, we have the right to determine who comes into our country. That's how our government works.
Yeah, and as a, pardon me for using the cringy term, citizen of the world, I do not believe that you should have a right to keep people out of this country based on their skin color just because you don't like their political views.
Well, I mean, do you think that race is merely skin color?
Oh, let's fucking do it, my friend. Let's fucking do it.
I don't know if I want to go down this rabbit hole.
Oh, no, you fucking don't, because the scientific consensus is that there's more variance within a race than there are between the average member of different races.
This guy is desperate to hide who he is.
The like right now, the consensus on a sociological, psychological, biological, and anthropological level is that race literally is fucking skin deep, with the exception of a couple of regional differences in our genetic makeup, like sickle cell anemia being resisted to by West Africans. By and large, there is more variance between members of a given race than there are between the average member of one race and another. White and black, white and Asian, Asian and black, it doesn't matter. We are, my friend, the same. And we are the product of evolutionary differences which have taken place over at most the past 30,000 years, which is not enough for there to be substantial differences in our cognitive abilities nor in our social abilities.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna argue against there being more differences, within the races than between the races. What differences are you talking about? Like IQ, height, what?
Oh well, yeah. There are differences in height, obviously, but you know what? The average European man was fucking 5'5" back 150 years ago. Environment plays a huge, unless you think that like we genetically, like evolutionarily grew like 4 inches over 150 years. Environment plays a much bigger effect on the disposition of certain racial groups than it does their genealogy. The fact that, say, for example, black Americans have on average a lower IQ than white Americans has been demonstrated over and over and over again to be a product of environmental differences, not because their brains are bumpier or some shit.
Wait, do you have any evidence for that?
Yeah.
Any studies?
Yeah. Wait, do you want me to like provide sources? I can't really argue with you and look up sources on the fly, but if you'd
Just
like,
later.
Yeah,
I'm curious.
No, I'd be happy to. Yeah. Environmental differences in IQ are a huge fucking thing. And this is why poverty and IQ are highly correlated. It turns out if you don't have the money to get access to the educational resources you need, your brain not going to work that well. I mean, this affects white people just as much as black people. It's just black people have a tendency to be poorer.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Can you name me a single settlement by Africans that is in history that is comparable to the success of any white country?
Can you name me a the Nubian Empire, ye back in the day, was leagues more advanced than many comparable white or Slavic civilizations that existed during its time.
What time period is this?
Let's find out. Are you going to suggest that the past few thousand years made the blacks' brains get all dumb and crinkly? Like somehow they were able to build up that empire and then they just devolved since then?
Well, I don't know what the empire, like I don't know any of the achievements of it. I mean, it certainly hasn't.
So you don't
know.
So you don't know anything about these empires or the history of Africa, but you're very confident in your assertion that black people are not as capable of developing advanced societies?
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't know, but you just feel really strongly about this.
Yeah, on that one, I'd say it's more of a feeling and general historical knowledge, not like super expertise on anything.
I really appreciate your honesty. The Nubian.
Well, you said I was lying. You said I was a liar.
Yeah, and you're proving me wrong. I love it, man. I love learning. No, there were plenty of African empires. If you want arguments as to why fucking white Europe ended up being the predominant global power, Guns, Germs, and Steel gives a compelling, it gives a compelling but largely. Well, I wouldn't go so far as to say it's inaccurate. I think the thesis it provides is pretty strong, but the arguments that it provides are colored by the bias of the writer. So I wouldn't argue that's a good academic source, but it's a good way to get your noggin thinking about different reasons why different groups of people may have settled in different areas and developed different civilizations.
So isn't the thesis of that, I had someone explain it to me, isn't it just basically like since there wasn't resource scarcity in Africa, there was no need to develop or something?
Well, no. It's because Africa, there are a number of issues. For one, Africa is really fucking hot. Most of it, at least. Africa is extremely hot. It does not have as much arable land. It doesn't have as many rivers flowing through it as many more arable sediments in Europe and in America. It doesn't have farm animals that can be domesticated as easily. All of these factors lead together towards material conditions, which makes it really fucking difficult to develop a society to the extent that we saw in Western Europe. Western Europe had we took horses from the Middle East, but eventually we got the horses, we got the cows, we got the sheep, we got the bulls, we got green farmlands stretching acres in every direction, we had arable rivers, we had moderate temperatures. This environment, these factors made it very easy civilizationally for us to develop our way through the fucking Civ 4 tech tree, get ourselves some solid agriculture going, and start forming settlements along riversides. It's much more difficult to do this in areas where the land is less arable, it's not as easy to domesticate farm animals, and it's really fucking hot. A an average like 20-degree Fahrenheit difference in temperature between Africa and Europe. I made that out of my head. I don't know if it's 30 or 10 or 20, but I know it's substantial. And major difference in the average temperature of an area can have a huge fucking impact on the sustainability of living there. And nonetheless, in spite of these adversities, the Egyptian Empire, the Nerubian Empire, not Nerubian, that's Warcraft. The Nubian
the Egyptian
Empire
are not African.
I mean, Egypt is
Sub-Saharan.
in Africa.
Sub-Saharan Africa. That's what I'm talking about, like the race.
Okay. You do realize, again, that there's no evidence biologically for the existence of race beyond skin tone here, right?
Well, you know what I mean, right?
Well, I know what you mean because I know you're racist, so I know that when you say Africa, you mean black people with big lips.
It's racist to say that the Egyptians were not the same as the Nubians?
Well, it is racist to believe really strongly that black people can't form sustainable civilizations without having any formal understanding of the history of African civilizations.
I'm saying they haven't, but I'm willing to look at these sources. The Nubian Empire, sure.
Yeah, learn more about the Nubian Empire. Learn more about the fucking Egyptian Empire, because that shit did not begin and end at the Nile, my friend.
You don't make the claim. You don't make the claim that the reason African countries are where they are today because colonial powers took all the resources. You don't make that claim, right?
Not because they took all the resources, but we did fuck Africa. We did bend Africa over the fucking sofa. I mean, yeah, like you'd have to be a fucking...
We also brought a bunch of...
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Look, it's cool. Like, we go over there and we lay down a road, and then we, like, systemically fucking segregate them.
How about civic structures?
Civic structures, these things existed in Zulu and Nubia before we brought them there. Oh, I know it's very confusing to you, the idea that people with dark skin...
The Nubian constitution, Nubian law.
Wait, do you think that a constitution is the only way you can provide civic structures? This was 2500 BC, my friend. They were pretty advanced for their day and age. Yeah. More so than comparable empires in other parts of the world.
Well, I was trying to move forward in the history towards like the colonial, last 200 years.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't want to explain like the history of colonialism to you, but the idea that we provided more than we took is laughable.
You have to admit that they adopted Western innovations.
They didn't adopt them. We shoved it down their throats. And what's more,
you don't think that was a good thing for them to have constitutions?
Again, I understand that your views can't survive scrutiny, and the thought of having to educate yourself might mean distancing yourself from this. I'm trying to, and you're interrupting me. I'm not interested in explaining the history of colonialism to you. The idea that we as colonial empires did more good than harm to these African nations is laughable. I'm cringing just thinking about it.
I don't believe I said that. Okay, I said that they did some good.
Yeah, sure. I mean, okay.
There we go. That's all I wanted.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so that's the point you were trying to make. Some good, not that. Yeah, mostly.
If we're going to be honest, you have to admit that they did bring some great things to them.
I don't know why you keep saying you have to admit. I don't have to admit anything. Some good came of imperialism because in order for the colonial powers to establish settlements in the countries they were systemically raping, they wanted to bring over the tea and the spices and the roads and stuff to make sure the horses.
I'm talking about like constitutions and stuff. Not
wait. Do you think we went into sub-Saharan Africa and we the colonial settlers were like, rejoice ye black folk, we have brought you law and civilization, and then we set up a little British or Dutch tent outside of their fucking thatch huts, and then we taught them how civic society works? Is that what you think imperialism was?
The first part, unironically, yeah. The second part, no.
All right.
But, I mean, like,
it would make a good SNL bit. Okay. Your suggestion.
Yeah, but do you know what the most adopted constitution in the world is?
I mean, probably one modeled off the U.S. Constitution or the Magna Carta, if I had to guess.
No, the U.S. is the oldest, still in use one, but it's actually the Canadian Constitution.
Oh, well, cool.
But anyways.
I'm sure you guys have a pretty... Wait, you're not Canadian, sorry. I'm sure they have a pretty cool constitution. I mean, I don't know. I've never read it. I live in America. That has nothing to do with the fact that we did way more harm than we did good, and we didn't go in there to teach them about civics and laws. We went there to exploit slave labor, take material resources, and make a whole lot of fucking money. The idea that we like benefited these civilizations is fucking laughable. It's actually a good joke. I am actually heaving at the. I'm trying not to laugh. My chest is billowing right now. I am trying to keep the guffaws within. It is a laughably ignorant suggestion.
Well, do you think that do you think African countries would be better off today without any colonization if Europe just never landed there?
Not necessarily if Europe never landed there. If we established like peaceful trading relations with Africa, then yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if we just like traded with them and there was like cultural commiseration that existed without
no, if there was no outside influence, that's what I'm curious.
No outside influence. I don't know very much about the state of Africa back in the 1500s. I would have to do more research there. But the answer to this question is ultimately irrelevant. This is the same argument that racists in America make, like, should black Americans really be complaining when we took them over here in slave ships? Now they get to have rap music instead of living over here.
Unironically, the black African Americans are the most wealthy and prosperous Africans in the entire world.
Yeah, because because they live in America, one of the wealthiest and most prosperous nations.
That's not even invalid.
No, it's very invalid. Wait, do you think that bringing people on slave ships where they're packed like Tetris blocks below decks, bringing them over, working them to the bone to the death for 300 years, then systemically discriminating against them for another 100 years, and now they're still systemically discriminated against, but now some of them can like get good jobs? Do you think that all kind of balances out morally, like sort of ethically, the scales? Kinda.
Well, I don't agree that they're systemically.
I know you don't. You're very stupid, so that's probably more or less like sort of beyond your cognitive abilities. The suggestion that that everything we did in regards to imperialism and slavery is a-okay because black people live in America now is so unquestionably beyond a fucking consideration.
Okay, I'm saying you have to, take a look at both sides. History.
Both sides, the slavers. And the black folk, you're right. I love how this conversation began with you being like, I don't believe in violence, liberal values, and now you're justifying colonialism, justifying slavery. You're a white nationalist.
You
misunderstand.
Misunderstand.
I'm very confused. Can you please clarify for me?
By both sides, I mean looking at history in the historical context and not applying modern standards of morality.
You realize that historians do that, and historians are against you, right?
You have to be willing to not not pretend that America and history was just evil up until 2013 when gay marriage was legalized.
I never did that. For one, 2015 was when gay marriage was made legalized across the states. And for two, I never said that America was evil. I believe that secretly, but that's a surprise view I'll shed on to you later. But I never argued that America has been evil like unquestionably throughout history or anything along those lines. All I'm arguing for is that your view of colonialism is fucking ridiculous. That we just went in there and
What's my view?
You literally said you believe that like British and Dutch folk went over there and just started teaching them about civics and laws and constitutionality.
I did not say that. I said
clip it and ship it, friends. It's all logged.
What I said was they came, and by the time they left those things. I didn't say they were teaching them.
They really did.
When they were.
When do you think we left? When do you think we left Africa? By and large, 1960s. And the colonization of those countries, those settlements, began approximately 350 years before that, by and large, historically speaking. Yeah, like early 1600s, thereabouts. I mean, you can even go earlier if you want to talk about South Africa and shit.
I don't know. I was thinking more like the 19th century was the majority of colonization.
We've been doing it for a while, my friend. So you think that 350 years of systemic exploitation. We can just list some of the crimes of the colonial governments. There was of course, the genocide, the mass rapes, the kidnapping, the apartheid, the discrimination, the systemic deprivation of education, keeping them illiterate so they didn't have a way of fighting back against the government or fighting back against their colonial oppressors, the exploitation both of their labor and of the resources upon which they stood, taking out their diamonds, their spices, their silicon. We did all that for a solid 350 years, and then some of these states, after we left, after we with the states that we drew the borders for our convenience. We left and we just sort of, you're settled to sort yourself out now. And some of them today have stable governments. And this to you is an example of the positive effects of colonialism.
Well, I would say that their governments aren't doing so well, but that's not really, I mean, they you could say relatively stable. Yeah. I mean, was there even many established governments before colonialism? Like there weren't this concept of nation states is relatively recent too.
Yeah,
so.
The concept of nation states is newer than imperialism. Nation states as a concept arose in the 19th and 18th centuries. Colonialism really kicked off in the 17th. You're asking me why there weren't nation states in these places before Europe invented nation states.
That's true.
Why do you hate black people? Can we get to the root of this?
Well, that's not true. I mean, you think I hate black people, but I don't.
Okay, you're right. Left wing destroyed.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, is that all you got? I mean, you seem like a pretty smart fella. I mean, do you really have to boil it down to I hate black people?
Because you have to understand, because I know there's no point in arguing history with people like you. I mean, I went to college. I know my shit for the most part. I was a sociology major, not a history or econ major. But by and large, I'm pretty educated. And I know there's no point in discussing these things with you because literally every opinion you've espoused to me has been completely unfounded and rooted entirely in ignorance. You have a feeling.
That's not true.
And the feeling that you have is that you're uncomfortable with the idea of living in a country with dark-skinned people. And every value, every assertion, every tidbit of quote-unquote knowledge locked up in your tiny little brain has been followed from that primary assertion. So I don't know how to deal in feelings, my friend. All I can do is ask you, like on a root level, why do you hate them? Why are you scared of them? We can be honest here, okay? Look, one time in middle school, a black kid was mean to me, and for a little while after that, I thought black people were just kind of mean. I grew out of it. I was pretty young at the time. But look, we're open. This is an open environment, okay? We're sharing ourselves. He left! Ha! Kill him. All right, I think I did okay there, considering the circumstances. Vosh v. God if you think I did good. Vosh v. Oof if you think I could have done better.
Holy shit, this was amazing.
Thanks, friend. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Listen, I suscept to the democratic process, okay?
Found ya in my recommended videos after watching some bad mouse fits. Been on a bender of your videos. Love your raw dog big dick approach to dealing with reactionaries.
Thanks.
Figure have some beer or weed monies. Keep fighting, comrade.
Thanks, comrade. I really appreciate it. I love you, friend.
Nice fucking work. Rails over feels.
That's what I'm saying. 1 second. What's up?
Oh, just make sure to ban him from the Discord.
Oh, yeah, of course. I'll get to that. Yeah, I don't remember what that guy's name was. Someone clip the clip of his name or something.
Can we talk about your school experience with Black PPL more?
Yeah, we can. I was in art class. Okay, there was this kid. I forget his name. It was like It was like kind of like a stereotypical black name. I'm not saying that to be mean.
Some bits to ease the pain, but you had a good conversation.
Thank you, comrade. He was like Shaquel or Shaquez, I think. And he was real kind of like an unfortunate case. He was this really big kind of bully black kid. Like he was huge, bigger than me, and I was a big kid. And his mom was like always trying to get him in trouble with the administration so she could sue the school and get money off them. Like she was race baiting. She was unironically race baiting. And it sucks. Like that sucks. I'm not defending that at all. But he was kind of a troubled kid, mostly because his mom was a shithead. And one day I was in art class with him.
Fucking epic, I'm sorry, but I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible. Jew, Gentile, black man, white.
All right. That's what That's what I'm saying. Anyway, one day I was in art class with him, and we were doing this thing where you draw a triangle, you draw a crayon pattern on a triangle, and you tessellate it until you make 8 of them, and it forms a square, and it forms a pretty pattern. And I was doing mine, and he was doing his, and he was stirring shit up in class, and I made a joke about him, and then he rushed over to the other side of the table and got out a permanent marker and scribbled all over my art thing, and then he got in trouble. Okay, and then for 3 months after that, I was racist, and then I grew out of it, and I've never been racist since. Okay, that was my experience. Was it a racist joke? No, it was. No. It had nothing to do with race. All right.
I was going to leave my house an hour ago, you asshole. This was too hard to pass up. Smiley face.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Oh, man. That was fun. Guys, that's what I like. This is what I'm here for. That was actually really fun because he was trying really hard to keep his calm the entire time, even though I could tell he was upset. So he didn't even, like, get shouty or try and talk over me or anything. That was really fun. I could just, like, beat him up. He was just like a punching bag for 20 minutes. Absolutely. That's the ideal relationship right there between lefties and fascists. Ooh, yeah. Upload that debate to YouTube? Of course, absolutely. How could I not? Plan to clip shit not like. Of course, that's YouTube shit right there. Of course it is. Ah, thank you very much for the bits, friendo. And Zaphrogen, thank you very much for the 5 buccarinos to my donation. Here, we should probably God.
Actually learned something in this debate. Thank you, M8. That guy literally turned white nationalist cause he saw his first big black dick and turned to race realism. LULW.
My girlfriend gave me like the hardest to open bottle. Holy shit. Fuck. Ow. What the fuck is she doing to these things? Nothing. Oh man. Okay. All right. We got to get back on that Steven Crowder video, huh? Ouch. And I didn't even get to eat my PB&J, man. Oh, man. Okay. Oh, boy. That was fun. We all had fun. That was the debate that I was looking for.
Yeah.
Let's be more inclusive of satanic predators. Like a while back.
Okay, wait. We have to recontextualize. We were talking because we debated the guy and it fucking threw my head off. Where this guy's saying top 5 ways leftists sexualize kids, louder with Crowder, and he's listing things that have nothing to do with leftism and nothing to do with sexualizing kids. Gorilla V7, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime subscription, my friend. That's really kind of you. Welcome to the Vosh Pit. Oh boy. All right, let's get back on it. Here, I'll even rewind a little bit.
Oh my gosh.
Stop discrimination. It's time to be more.
Oh, that's right. He's saying that leftists are normalizing pedophilia as a sexuality.
Tolerant of demons who feed on kids.
Yeah.
Let's be more inclusive of satanic predators. Like a while back, a bunch of leftist sites like Salon and Vice did profiles on this non-offending pedophile named Todd Nickerson.
I am a pedophile. I'm not a monster. I have the traction, but I don't act on it.
Looks like a pedophile.
He's the definition of a monster.
Yeah.
Daughter did that one, a friend's daughter did that one, and then a friend's daughter did that one.
Seems like he likes friends' daughters.
They're okay with that at age.
Yeah. Yeah, because they know I am no danger to them. Probably safer with me than they are with, like, you know, a lot of non-pedophiles.
They're more. They're safer with a rabid wolf.
Okay. So wait, a news site does like an op-ed interview on a guy who's a pedophile but not a sexual abuser, and this is normalizing pedophilia as a sexuality? If they were normalizing pedophilia as a sexuality, wouldn't they be saying, like, wouldn't he be like, yeah, I'm a pedophile and I think I should be able to fuck kids? Like, if we're normalizing it, we'd normalize the sex too. But we're not normalizing the sex. We're just saying, like, hey, if you're a pedophile, if you have inclinations towards attraction towards children, that doesn't make you a monster. Because telling them that they're monsters means it's less likely they're going to seek help. And making it less likely that they're going to seek help makes it more likely they're going to offend in the future. I come from a anti-child rape standpoint. That's sort of my political bias coming into this. I guess people like Crowder and this fucking guy and these fucking chuds over here, I guess they don't really care about kids getting raped as long as they get to feel high and mighty about demonizing pedophilia. I guess these are kind of like the pro-child rape advocates, actually. In fact, I think these people have raped children. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Hold on, I'm getting water. I'm thirsty as fuck. You enjoy that debate?
Yeah. Is it still on?
Huh?
Is it still on?
The mic? Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave it.
I love you.
I love you.
All right. Just had to jiggle some boobies. You know how it is. All right. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's listen to these pro-child rape advocates justify their position. Is that how you get the water, by jiggling some boobies? Yeah. My baby's boobies are always sweaty. I just jiggle them and collect the sweat.
Yeah, exactly.
The guy you debated says you kicked him? I didn't kick anyone. What the fuck are you talking about? Platonic Guy, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime subscription. I really appreciate the support. You did? Oh, let's... Wait, did one of the mods kick him? He didn't even leave? You fucking babies. God damn it, you guys. Whatever, I don't care. As far as I'm concerned, I won the debate. Fucking get it out of here. Even if he didn't leave, that doesn't change fundamentally what took place in the debate. Oh, I banned after he left? Okay, I don't really care. Listen, I'm a creature of the moment. I had the debate and I had a good time. It's done now, and now we're watching Louder with Crowder.
Idea being it's okay for him to want to bang kids as long as he doesn't actually bang kids. And of course he never would. Wink, wink. Except Nickerson posts he would have sex with kids if we just lived in a more sex-positive society.
Always maintained if we lived in a different, more sex-positive society, and if it were legal to do so, I would engage in sex play with a child if she wanted it, and I initiated it. I will never deny that. Okay. So it seems to me like the op-ed interview, sort of life piece they did on this guy, left is well on its way to doing just that. Okay. I still don't see how this invalidates this still has literally nothing to do with the left promoting pedophilia. It was just them giving a voice and taking a look into the life of a pedophile who does not offend, or allegedly doesn't offend, I suppose. So again, this has nothing to do with his point principally. And it should be said, and I'm not getting into this right now, that from an anthropological standpoint, we have to recognize that the age of consent at which it is presently set is a social construct. Obviously, it's a social construct. It's a law. It's not found in nature. And there have been different societies with different interpretations as to what constitutes sexual maturity. I, at this moment, here in this society, am pretty comfortable with the age of consent being where it is. I wouldn't advocate for it being changed in any way. But the this knee-jerk, and I'm talking to leftists right now, to any leftists listening, this knee-jerk disavowal of any alternative looks at what constitutes sexual maturity is founded primarily in disgust and not in reason. God, fucking kill me, excuse me. So, all I'm saying is, this has nothing to do with leftism, this has nothing to do with sexualizing kids. Get it out of here.
Sex positive, what the hell does that mean?
I'll tell you what it means. Todd Nickerson is the reason AR-15s exist. Predators always want to normalize. That's what they do. Ask yourself this: would lions or would zebras benefit from the removal of categories and stigma? The lions would keep pushing for inclusivity and to be treated just like lions. Predators are discriminated. Don't use your cis prey privilege. And then once everyone's guard is down, the lions will just feast.
They didn't have to go anywhere. Right.
Wait, isn't this an exact allegory for white nationalists abusing free speech to get into power before they take out minorities? Wait, isn't this an exact allegory for what I fight against? What? Okay, whatever. This is stupid.
Right there.
Isn't
Mixed
that-
in among them.
Isn't that so true, though? It's like, don't judge me for being obviously a predator. Yeah. Number 2. I can't believe this is... All right, transit.
I think we need like a throw up break for people. Like if you need to go throw up and come back.
Yeah, I just need a
Pause it here.
Nickerson doll
Yeah,
to
right here.
punch in the face.
Yeah, exactly.
Transitioning kids. If it weren't enough to sexualize kids, the left now encourages...
He hasn't demonstrated a single example of children being sexualized. Not a single one. He's talked about teaching sex education to children. He's talked about one news site doing one op-ed on one guy who is a pedophile but doesn't offend. There's nothing. This is laughable. I mean, these guys are already lying. Why not make up more shit?
encourages them to make permanent, irreversible changes to their bodies.
Nope.
This isn't...
No one is encouraging children to transition. I know what this is going to be about. It's going to be about hormone blockers and fucking Canada and therapists working with children to determine if transition is the right option for them. I'll respond to it when he says it. But when he says it, I want some fucking Vosh v. Gods in chat, okay?
Isn't some fringe leftist idea. Here's NBC pushing this on national television.
Increasingly, families are going public with what it means to be a transgender kid.
That means you're being abused.
Yeah, exactly.
5-year-old
Parents
Jacob
are
LeMay is
psychotic.
fierce. He loves karate and dogs and
It's a she.
spaceships and playing with his sisters.
Why can't a regular girl?
It's a she. Fucking scumbags.
Girl like karate and
Sisters, and
dogs.
you're the brother, right?
They can. This is
Were you
nonsense.
always the brother?
I'm not always.
What were you before?
They're a sister.
How come it changed?
Because I wanted to be a boy.
Okay. In the beginning, Mimi and Joe LeMay were raising 3 girls.
They still are.
When Mia was around 2, she started saying, "I'm a boy."
All right.
serious?
I mean, it's. I have a 2.5-year-old son. Like, watching that stuff makes my blood literally boil.
Yeah.
All right, so
Blood literally boil. Kids being treated the same, clearly being given a ton of love, getting to participate in the extracurriculars, getting to do what they want, makes his blood boil. I'm a triggered little fucking snowflake. You know what this guy right here, you know what he wants? He wants to fuck kids. That's what he's all about. If that was a video of a kid being fucked, then he would be for it. But this, a kid being treated with love, makes his blood boil.
2-year-olds are old and wise enough to make the decision to change gender. No wonder pedophile leftists think they can consent to sex. This is what it's all about. It's about consent.
Yeah.
Oh, and this hits extra home with me because I was at CAA. I had a book deal with a big publisher. I was at a sitcom, Comedy Central specials, and all that stuff. And I called out a guy for doing this very thing on Twitter. And I know I've told this story before, but I don't want people to forget that this is real. A 5-year-old was told he was a girl, and this guy was given all this virtue for it. He said, we're victims. And then when he said that he would potentially put him on hormone blockers, I just kept retweeting, like, are you guys seeing this? Are you seeing the madness?
Hey guys, I'm being harassed for recognizing the identity of my trans kid. No, you're not, and I'll prove it by retweeting you to my audience of millions of reactionaries to dogpile you in hate.
And the silence I got from all my shiny blue checkmark friends, and then people saying apologize or we have to let you go. And I literally went to do tree work for $20 an hour with my brother after just being on a TV show because I'm like, you'll lose your soul doing that stuff. Yeah. Agreeing with it is just as bad. Well, it's not just as bad, but it's like, how can people stay silent?
Yeah.
Just mind-blowing. The cost of agreeing.
Stay silent about what exactly? About letting your kids dress how they like and talk how they like and adopt the social roles and pronouns they prefer?
To that is you literally lose your own instincts. You don't even trust yourself. That's what happens with a lot of self-hating behaviors because they literally hate themselves because they know what they've done and they know what they've agreed to. All right. Can you remember what you thought when you were this age?
Agreed to what? Done to what? What the fuck is he even talking about? He's just rambling, a non sequitur. What the fuck is he going on about?
Age. See, this because I think about myself. Yeah, exactly. I thought I was a dinosaur. Imagine if instead of actual parents.
Haha, attack helicopter meme. I thought I was a dinosaur. Haha, left wing destroyed.
Fortunately, I did and do have Love You Mom and Dad. Now that I know that this exists, extra Love You Mom and Dad. Imagine if I had those dead-eye SJW parents.
Hold on. My GF is heading off to school. I'm going to give her a hug. I love her. Mike's on. Don't say anything.
Oh, I just love you.
I love you.
We'll see you at 8.
Big booby.
We'll see you at 8.
Big booby.
We'll see you at 8.
Yeah.
I love you.
Love you too.
Bye. See you.
Good luck out there. Shit weather.
It sure is raining.
Yep. Chat says bye.
Bye, chat.
I love you. Thank you for making the sandwich.
Yeah, no problem. Eat more. Eat something else.
I'll eat more soon.
Okay,
Ah.
bye.
All right. Hello, I'm back. School? I mean, she's heading to her fucking senior year of undergrad, but okay. Ooh.
Who used my childhood to virtue signal to their awful friends, and they surgically added dinosaur scales that I could never remove and a fake tail, and then made me take hormone blockers so I...
What the...
Who used my childhood to virtue signal to their awful friends, and they surgically added dinosaur scales that I could never remove and a fake tail, and then made me take hormone blockers so I never had any adult human characteristics.
Jesus Christ. You know, they made a joke about Amy Schumer earlier, but talk about the fucking cringe humor. I could make jokes about transgender people. If I wanted to go full fucking reactionary, I could come up with way funnier jokes about trans people and transitioning than this fucking dinosaur. Jesus fucking Christ. Sorry. The kids, they can transition now, like, because they just because like, you're a boy but you're actually a girl. When I was a kid, I said I was a dinosaur. I'm lucky they didn't hold me down and graft dinosaur scales onto my skin, and they gave me human puberty because it's like trans people that and it gave me human puberty blockers so I could become a dinosaur. Please clap. Jesus Christ.
Oh my gosh.
You know, that's real.
That's essentially what's going on here, right?
100%. The dinosaur phase would pass, and as I grew up, I'd enter a phase where instead I'd want to be a dead person, because 40% of these kids
commit suicide because of people like you.
Kill themselves.
Do you know the best proven way? The best proven way of reducing the suicide risk in a trans kid? You let them fucking transition. The medical science, it all agrees on this. All the facts right here on my side, and all the little baby bitch boy snowflake feelings over there on his side. He's just so upset. He's just so upset and confused about gender. And I've got all the facts. Fucking big brain Bosch over here. Big brain, bigger dick. Coming at you hard. Hey! You know why trans people kill themselves so much? It's not just because of the dysphoria. Dysphoria. I mispronounced that. Kind of ruins the joke. I'll continue anyway. It's because of people like you. You fuck. And the best way to reduce the risk of suicide? The medically verified, biologically consistent process of transitioning. I'm sorry, he just doesn't like the facts. He doesn't like them. They make him upset. They make him sweaty. Also, you're on fucking internet radio, my dude. Can you not get a better haircut? It triggers the shit out of me when white people get like bowl cuts, but they just cut the bangs high. White dudes do this all the time. Why? Why? Okay.
And before you say that's because of societal oppression, that's a higher suicide rate than prisoners in Auschwitz. Oh. Kids want to make their parents happy.
Yeah, prisoners in Auschwitz didn't live long enough to kill themselves, but... What? No shit, they didn't kill themselves. They were under armed watch all the time. They had a life expectancy of like 8 months, and they weren't given shoelaces. How the fuck were they gonna kill themselves? Do you know how hard it is to kill yourselves? Imagine invoking the horrors of the Holocaust to own the libs. The trans libs.
Happy. That's why this drives me insane, is these kids are like, how do I get love and acceptance from my parents?
Yeah, exactly.
And think about how easy it is to victimize these children. Like, my son plays piano at 2 because I do.
Yeah.
You know, I want to believe it's just God-given talent because he's good at it, but it's also he just wants to because I do. He builds things with Legos because I say good.
There is literally no evidence to suggest that kids identify as trans to impress their social betters, but there is mountains of evidence to show that trans kids will pretend to be cisgender and damage their mental health for decades because of the discriminatory values of their parents and peers.
Good job. It's like these kids happen to have parents.
How are you wrong on so many things? How is it possible to be wrong on everything? On every point. It's incredible. It's actually really fucking amazing to me how any ideology, any system of thought, any one person can be wrong about this many things. It's incredible. He's just factually wrong. This isn't an opinion piece. This isn't ideology. He's arguing against statistical evidence. He's arguing against evidence totality.
Whose approval of them rests on a chemistry experiment so that they can claim victim status at cocktail parties and get more social status and money on the backs of their kids' futures. It's just...
Literally, what the fuck are you talking about? Literally, what the fuck are you talking about? I have no idea what the fuck he's talking about, but we are now 13 minutes and 25 seconds in, and there is yet to be a single example of leftists sexualizing children. Maybe the last one's gonna be it, because I know what he's gonna bring up, because I saw it in the fucking thumbnail. I bet you anything it'll be that fucking, what is it, that little kid drag queen or whatever? It's like the little boy, but he dresses all flamboyant or something. I don't know anything about him. I don't know anything about him or his family or what the situation is with that. But I saw that kid in the thumbnail, so I'm willing to bet that's going to be point number 1.
It's insane. All right, and number 1, and then I'll let you guys out of this horror show. And this is real, and some of you guys won't want to believe it. This is all real. Child drag queens.
How does he know? It's incredible. How the fuck? Relentlessly, unstoppably. My brain is so big. I have the fucking divination prefrontal cortex. I foresee into the future. How does he know? How does he know every time?
Oh boy.
A lot of progressive outlets have done profiles on child drag queens. For example, here's 10-year-old drag queen Desmond. And in case you thought that was a one-off, there's also an 8-year-old drag queen named Lactatia.
My name is Desmond. Is amazing. I see myself an LGBTQ activist, a drag kid. My motto is be yourself always, no matter what anyone says.
That is a boy.
Desmond has gotten a lot of well-deserved attention recently because
Now, I'm going to be up front here. I am not a huge fan of this. And for the same reason that I don't like child beauty pageants, for the same reason that I don't like any kind of child modeling, for the same reason that I'm very skeptical of the child acting business. I am, generally speaking, not a fan of getting kids on board with like the weird social network of expectations concerning beauty. I don't like it. I don't like that. I don't like the pressures that put on a kid. I think kids should be able to be fucking weird looking and awkward for a while. And I can see a lot of ways where the fame, popularity, and social expectations surrounding these kids, these popular child drag queens, I can see a lot of ways in which that turns out poorly for them in the long term. Yeah, it's child labor. It subjects them to external pressures that I don't think a kid is really that well equipped to handle, and it makes them an icon for something they're too young to understand. That kid said that he's an icon for LGBT representation or whatever. No, he's fucking not. That kid has no idea what LGBT really means. Not its history, not its connotations, not the context in which he said it. He doesn't know because he's a fucking child. I am not a fan of this. I'm just saying. But I'm not against this because I believe it's leftists sexualizing children. I am against this because I think imposing an unnecessary and very strict beauty standard and set of social expectations on children can kind of fuck kids up. Hey, Mons, I'm the guy from the debate. Can you unban me from the server? Night X Lovely. Dude, you're a white nationalist, a fascist, a racist. You know nothing about anything you're talking about. No, come on. Come on, take the L, my friend. We're not unbanning you. Why would we? Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I leave it up to my mods. I need to stop putting my hand in moderation. I'm already so busy every day, day to day. I can't fucking deal with moderation anymore. Good luck, you guys. Mods, don't fight over it. Kids should also be able to use whatever clothes they like if that's what they want. We just shouldn't commodify it. I agree, but there's no fucking way these kids just wanted to dress like tiny little fashion gods. They were maybe like early on, they were like, ooh, this is pretty. And then through a series of events too convoluted for me to describe, they got surrounded by other people who helped them assume this role. That's kind of weird to me. All right, let's just...
A, he's really young, and B, because he's so fierce.
I came out of the closet when I was only 3.
Lactatia is the deviest diva you could ever think of. I've been wearing like my sister's tutus since I was like 3s and 4s, even like 2s, and I've been dancing around in like little pink dresses and stuff. So yeah, I think I've had lactation inside of me since I was born, and that's why I love that song Born This Way.
We just want our kids to express themselves however they see fit, as long as it's respectful.
I will say that in this respect, the memes do write themselves. I'm not a fan of this. I'm not a fan of this. This isn't the left sexualizing kids, mind you, and I've seen plenty of left-wing criticism of this shit. This is mostly like progressive woke-ass liberals. Do you think this bitch right here knows anything about capitalism? Because I sincerely doubt it. This is mostly just like woke progressive liberals who tend to do kind of the cringier stuff when it comes to GSM representation in the media.
And they're nice people. We really don't care.
Yeah, they want everyone... I'm trying to make judgments here, but I'm like, what are the parents doing in this case?
Well, there you go. You saw it right there.
Right.
Well, they don't want people to be lactatia intolerant. Progressives try to claim there's nothing sexual about child
Please laugh.
drag queens, that it's just plain dress up. But then they post a pic of Lactatia wearing a onesie from an adult clothing store and holding a balloon that says, eat a dick.
Oh my gosh.
That right there is the face of a society that...
Well, that's not sexualizing. Like, again, I still don't like any of this stuff, but that's not sexualizing. At all.
That's overly tolerant to monsters. That's the end result of the millions and millions of tiny little concessions that people make daily so they aren't called intolerant by people on Facebook or they get a little extra money.
See, again, this is the mind of a reactionary. They can't imagine that people disagree with them, so they assume that everyone is just too afraid to speak up against the encroaching leftist agenda, or that they're getting paid off by it. They can't fathom people disagreeing with them, because to fathom that would be to take their mind beyond the confines in which it currently exists.
That is the result of not defending our kids. There's definitely nothing sexual about that. Eat a dick.
Yeah.
Yes.
LGBTQAI is hungry for that pee.
Ugh.
It's actually LGBTQIA, friend. The A comes after the I. Get it right.
Caitlyn Jenner playing dress up as an adult is one thing, but going after kids is another. Evil needs...
What was that?
Definitely nothing sexual about that. Eat a dick.
Yeah.
Yes.
LGBTQAI is hungry for that pee.
Ugh.
Caitlyn Jenner playing dress up as an adult is one thing, but...
Oh, eat shit is distinctly sexual, my friend.
Going after kids is another. Evil needs to snuff out good. And there's nothing more good than kids.
Yeah.
This is a way to hide...
Nothing more good than kids, says the personally avowed serial child rapist. Just clip that for later, okay?
Abuse in plain sight. Nothing makes these people more excited than an entire society so frozen by the threat of getting a thumbs down on Facebook that they...
Again, they think everyone's just afraid to speak up to the leftist agenda. I'm not afraid of well, actually, that's not relevant to me because I am the leftist agenda. So I guess my fear isn't really a factor here. All right, we had our fun. Fun, good. I don't have the energy for this. How the fuck are we doing?